Welcome to tonight's broadcast live business show. As you come in, would you imagine this shocking statistic that only about 5% of Nigerians have over 500,000 naira in their bank account? And 500,000 naira is approximately $300. So we are talking about 218 million people, and then over 208 million of them do not have $300 saved anywhere. You might also say, anyway, people don't leave money in the bank because when they leave money in the bank, inflation eats it up. But when you consider that less than 20% of Nigerians live in their own homes, you will realize how desperate this situation is. In other words, we potentially have over 208 million people who do not earn enough money. And I wouldn't be surprised that many of us in the live show tonight do not also earn enough money. And then you cannot begin to talk about financial freedom until you even solve the problem of earning enough money. And I know that people are joining us from different parts of the world. So as you join, please introduce yourself in the comment section and tell us what country that you are joining us from. So, the other shocking statistic in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Ghana, in most parts of Africa, is that it seems literally impossible to become rich in Nigeria except you are into politics. So politics happens to be the fastest money-making career in Nigeria. But tonight, I'm going to be discussing what's the hope for the rest of us, who are not into politics. What is the hope for us to become rich or to make sufficient money? That's what we're going to be unpacking. So I want to thank all of you who are coming in. Jones Lashaya, I see you. Terence Stewart, thank you. Boga Dusham, thank you for joining. Frank William, Chandra, Timipre, you're a regular. Please tell us what country you are joining us from, and then you are going to see why we need to update it in a short while. So today, we will be talking about how to make sufficient money no matter your background, no matter what background you come from, no matter what country you come from. What I'm going to be sharing with you is amazingly simple common sense that our forefathers, our ancestors, whether you are joining us from India, I see a couple of Indian names, Indian brothers and sisters here, or whether you are joining us from any part of Africa, or for some of you joining us from the UK, even though you are Nigerians or Africans in diaspora, it is common sense. Please type common sense in the comment section. What I'm going to be sharing is common sense. I know I have taught with Stanford University in the Stanford Seed program. And so some of these business school things can be very, the terminologies can be quite intimidating. And then maybe you have had something to do with a couple of bankers and economists, and then they have all these intimidating terminologies. I'm going to break it down. It's simple common sense. Your grandfather did not attend Stanford. Your grandmother, your uncle, who is late now, did not go to Stanford or Harvard or Lagos Business School. But these people had enough. They made enough, and they were able to do incredible things. So I'm going to take you through 4 common sense steps to make sufficient money, because there is enough in the world that we live in today. And it takes this common sense that you're going to learn tonight. Okay, so far, these are the countries represented in the live sessions we started. And if your country's flag is not in here, please put it in the chat, in the comment section, so that we can update it. Yes, Malik is joining us from the Gambia. And then, yes, we've updated the Gambia flag. All right. So if your country is not represented here, go ahead and then put it in the comment section. And then by the next event tomorrow, you will see your country's flag represented here. So first of all, for some of you who are joining for the first time, who is Ogbo, Awoke Ogbo, and why am I doing this? Well, 2 weeks ago, I woke up with a very, very profound thought, and I asked, suppose I had only 1,000 days to live, what was it if I had to impart the most valuable lessons of my life to the world? What was I going to teach the world? Okay? And so there are 3 things that you expect to be part of, to happen to you in the next 800 and something days left in this challenge. So first is you are going to develop the skills and strategies you need to attain financial independence. Secondly, you are going to scale your business, whether you are joining us from India or any part of Africa, you are going to expand your business. You're going to be learning things to help you expand your business, to take what you're doing into something bigger than yourself, into a mission much more bigger than yourself. And then thirdly, we are focusing on family. We want to go back to the traditional family values. The world was happier when the traditional family values were upheld. The world was happier. So I remember growing up in the 1960s, in the early 1970s, the world was a much happier place because there were communities, there were community values, and there were family values. And we lived as families. And then it was not uncommon in those days, to find in one compound, in one space, you find 4 generations. And I actually gave it to my Asian brothers and sisters, because we still have that happening in parts of Asia today. You find in one building, one compound, 4 generations. You find a child living with the parents, living with the grandparents, living with the great-grandparents. And the world is so happy. And we had enough. And there was no lack. But today is everyone to himself. And today, marriages, young people get married. They go to Dubai. They do all kinds of things. They spend literally tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a wedding. And then that wedding does not last for 3 months. And then we start hearing stories of how that marriage has broken down. And so many separated families, so many divorcees all over the place. And people are very unhappy. Therefore, in the next 1,000 days, we will be focusing also on family, building a loving family. All righty. Okay, so as you continue to join, Lonnie Moore, I see you. Thank you for joining. Please type what country you are watching from. Type what country you are watching from so we can update our country flags. Paamafo, thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this tonight. Caroline Rader, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching tonight. Okay. So let's get right into it. We have a 4-step agenda. This is going to be very simple. Like I said, it is simple common sense. And as you are joining, please make sure that you take notes. This is going to be very, very practical. This is not theory. This is not business school theory. So as you are joining, make sure you take notes. And I always encourage you, whenever you get an aha moment from what we are doing, please type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section, okay? And then for each of these 4 steps, I'm going to make it very, very actionable. You will be able to take action. You will be able to take action from tonight. It's not from tomorrow, all right? We are talking about earning sufficient income, no matter what your background is. So we're going to take that agenda through 4 steps. The first step is to define what sufficient really means. That's a place to start. And then you will see why that is important. Because you can't even begin to pursue what you have not defined. And then one of the most surprising things is that people walk around without a number in their head. They just want to be financially free. They just want to make enough. But they do not have a concept of what enough is. They've not given their brain the concept of what enough actually means. So we're going to start there, and I'm going to take you through a step, some activity to define what enough means. The moment we define what enough means, the next common sense step is to now create the enough. All right, to now think about what do you currently, all right, so you have, let's say 1,000 is enough, but currently you are bringing in 200. So the next common sense thing is, how are you going to bridge the gap? So we'll look at that, and I'll give you a process for doing that. The third step in the agenda will be, okay, given where I am right now, what am I going to need in order to make that sufficient? And then number 4, we'll deal with the mindset of committing to minding your own business. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. All right, Joel Imagbe, thanks for joining us. Tapelo Big Dreamer, thank you for joining us. Yogesh Coralita Simmons, thank you for joining us. Please type in the chat and tell us where you are joining us from. Is this getting exciting yet? I like to have interactions in the comment section, because remember, this is a coaching session. It is not a seminar. So I would like you to interact with me. If you hear anything that is an aha moment, please put it in the comment section. All right. And then if you find it difficult to type in the comment section, just go to my profile and click follow so that it can allow you to make comments. All right. Ketura Harris, thank you for joining. Bat Monk, thank you for being here. Okay, very good. Exciting. Right. Liam Roebuck, thank you for joining. Okay, so let's go right into the very first agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, from whatever continent you are joining us, whether you're joining us from Asia or from the Americas or from Africa, because I see all the different names here, it appears to me that all the continents are represented. Some of you are joining from the Middle East. No matter where you are joining us from, the very first step, and what I want you to do right now, this night, immediately after this, define a concept of enough. What does your brain understand as enough? You've got to give your brain something to work with. The reason many of us are drifting and also struggling financially is that we don't have a concept of what exactly is enough. What exactly is enough? And then you see, the interesting thing is that what is enough for you might not be the same thing that is enough for me. You have to give your nervous system the concept of enough. Okay? Everybody type in the comment section. Type enough. Every single one of you type enough in the comment section. I want your nervous system to start getting used to it. I want you to start getting used to that concept of enough. Everyone, and all of you joining, Raju, John Okafor, Dosi, everyone type in the comment section. Type the word enough. This is very, very important. Type enough. Dulcie, type enough in the comment section. Shiva Kumar, thank you for joining us. Okay, so the very first thing is to define what is enough. Define what is enough for you. You are going to eliminate 99% of the problems and the worries and anxieties you have about money in the world. I'm telling you. That's why I'm emphasizing this. Type enough in the comment section. I'm emphasizing that word enough, because if you can define it, I am telling you, you will sleep better tonight. If you can define what enough means to you, not what it means for your neighbor, not what it means to your mother or your father or your brother. What does enough mean to you? What does financial success mean to you? What does it look like? All right, so let's go right into it, and let me give you a process for doing that. So you've got to define what your ideal lifestyle is. So I have a template for defining what your ideal lifestyle is. All right, so you've got to paint a picture of your future. Do it for your mind and do it for your mental health. What does enough mean to you? What is your ideal lifestyle? And I want you to finish doing it and then come up with a number. You see, the day I did this exercise and I came up with a number, it was fantastic, because right now it's easy to marshal my activities, to marshal my resources toward that number that is enough. Right after this, I'm coaching an inner group. And then part of the things that we are dealing with is overwhelm with these many executives. And then many executives are facing overwhelm because people have not defined the concept of what success represents for them, what ideal lifestyle they want to create, even from the business. And therefore, they are so stressed. When you have not defined it, you find yourself doing things that are really, really superfluous and unnecessary. And then you stress your mind, you become worried. And then if you have not defined what enough means to you, then whenever your colleague, your neighbor, or somebody buys a new car, you go into depression, because you'll be comparing yourself with other people. Oh, they live in that neighborhood, they just built a house, I haven't built a house. They bought a car, I haven't bought a car. Oh, they just completed a degree, master's degree in Harvard, and I don't have a degree. You will kill yourself with depression. But if you know what your enough is, then you will focus on what your enough is, and it doesn't matter what other people are doing. So the activity I want you to do is to spend some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, defining, journaling what your ideal lifestyle really is, okay? And then what enough means in the different parts of your life, in your relationships, in your family, in your academics, in your purpose, in all your pursuits. What does enough mean? Okay, in different areas of your life. So let me give you an example. For a single mom, the enough of a single mom will not be the same as the enough of an unmarried lady. Okay, so a single mom, her enough might be, all right, I know I have succeeded, or I know I am succeeding when I'm able to afford my children's school fees without hassles, when I'm able to pay rent, and when I'm able to travel with my children once every year, to travel out. Can you imagine how powerful this is? Can you imagine? Just type in the chat, powerful. Type powerful in the comment section. Can you imagine for this single mom, if she defines her enough and she knows the boundaries of her activities? Enough for me means train my 3 children through the university, pay rent on time without hassles, travel once every year during summer with the children to show them the world. Go to Dubai, go to Australia, go to Germany, go to France, go to United States. That's enough for her. Very, very powerful in the mind. Very powerful to your mind. Because this single mom now will have to, you see, in the next couple of steps, how it will help to marshal her activities and her focus. So she will not be focusing on other single moms, who are doing whatever they are doing, buying private jets and things like that, because she knows this is her own enough. Number 2, come up with a number. Come up with a number. Look at, okay, in the whole year, your rent costs this. In the whole year, your food costs so amount of money. Your transportation costs so amount of money. The school fees cost so amount of money. Define it. Put the numbers there. And then come up with an annual number. Okay? That you know that in the year, that $12,000 is the number that represents enough. For some other person, it might be $6,000. For another person, it might be $80,000. For another person, it might be $120. It might be $200, $500. Forget about other people. So just define what is your own number. I did it for me and my family, and I came up with that number. And I tell you, it killed financial anxiety, and it also helped focus my energies. All right, define what enough means to you and come with a number. Then what I want you to do, which I also did, go a little bit further to visualize your enough. Just imagine your ideal lifestyle. What does it look like? What are the components of your ideal lifestyle? Create a vision board representing this ideal lifestyle. Your own, not your neighbor's own. Your own, not someone else you see on Facebook or you see on LinkedIn. Your own, because I'm telling you, and I'm emphasizing this thing about defining your own concept of enough. Because a lot of people are getting depression on social media because they go there, they see all these fake pictures. I started by telling you that Nigerians, for instance, that less than 5% have $300 in their bank account. But you go online, you will kill yourself because you think it is much more than that. Because everybody has a Lamborghini, everybody travels abroad, everybody lives in a big mansion, everybody, all those fake things. So forget about other people, create your own vision board of what enough represents. And the reason I really want you to do that is that the brain thinks in pictures. The brain thinks in images. So create your vision board, print it out, use it as your screensaver, print it out, put it in your bedroom, put it by your workspace, put it where you see it all the time. All right. So you might have, for instance, on your ideal lifestyle board, your enough board, you might have pictures of a happy family, like I do in my own, because happy family is my number one measure. Happy marriage, okay, this is my 29th year of marriage. So that's number one in my enough vision board. That's number one. Happy family is right there in my vision board. So you put other things. I have time and location freedom on my vision board. So in your vision board, you can have images and then you can have text. All right. So that is step one. Are you getting value? Are you getting value so far? Type in the chat. Type in the chat. Powerful value. Type value. Type powerful. Type. Let me know in the chat that you're getting value so far. Excellent. 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 Great value. Great value. Okay. So let's go to step two. Step number two. Create your money-making blueprint. So somebody type in the chat, money-making blueprint. You see, everybody's money-making blueprint is not the same. It cannot be the same because, you see, my ideal lifestyle, the first step you did, and what represents enough for me is not the same as what represents enough for you. Therefore, you have to generate your ideal money-making blueprint. How do you do it? So the number one is, how much money is currently coming into your life? How much do you earn now? You need to have the money. So let me tell you a quick story about how this transformed my life. So when my children started going to school, I needed to fill the CSS profile. The CSS profile, because if you're schooling in the United States, you must fill that. And then part of it is including all your income, the income that you're generating. Sadly, in many parts of Africa, we don't have such records. I didn't even have it myself until they had to go until they were going out to study. And then I had to fill these things. Where is money coming from? How much are you earning? How much are you spending on food? They will ask you all those things. If you've ever filled CSS profile, type in the chat. That's really what happens. Okay? So they ask you, what are the sources of your income, your job, your employment, your stocks, whether you have real estate. You have to calculate all these things. So, and a lot of us don't even know. If I ask many of you how much money comes to you, except you have just one job, which is what you're doing, how much money comes in the year, you don't even know. Okay, so you need to know, number one, how much income is coming in and where are they coming from? And then you now match it with the exercise, the number you got from the first part of the exercise. In other words, the first part of the exercise, you saw that your enough, that the number that represents your enough is $12,000, which is $1,000 every month. Let's say that that's the number that represents enough for you, which might really be good for many countries in Africa. $12,000 might be enough for a few people. Now, in this step, you are now saying, what is the deficit? Meaning you subtract or you match this somehow, you compare this with that number. So maybe by the time you finish this income gap, you discover that, your ideal income for you to feel enough, to have sufficient, is $12,000, but you are only making $4,000 in the year. That means that there is a deficit. There is a gap of $8,000. Therefore, the next step would be, How are you going to generate this deficit? Don't you see what I'm telling you? That this thing is simple common sense. But a lot of us just wake up in the morning and then we go. No thinking, no planning. And then you are just there, hitting the air, boxing nothing, aiming for nothing. And then wondering why you are struggling financially. So you've got to be a bit more strategic. You need $12,000 to feel sufficient in the year. But you are making only 4. And then there is a gap of 8. Therefore, every resource you have, every thinking, every meeting, every course, everything you attend should be focused on how do I close this deficit, this $8,000 deficit, okay? So the activity you are going to do in this step is to brainstorm the potential income streams. If the money is going to come, you've got to earn it. Except you want to steal and you want to cheat. This is not the live session. This is not the session for that sort of thing. Because except you want to cheat, or you want to lie, or you want to commit fraud, you must think, where is this deficit going to come from? Doesn't it make sense? Type in the chat. Does it make sense? Yeah, type in the comment section. Lee Jolo, welcome. Karen Osborne, thank you for joining us. Pushpa, nice to have you here. Type in the chat. Does this make sense to you? That there's an income deficit, which is why you are not making sufficient. Therefore, you've got to think about, how am I going to make this money? Okay, so the activity here is to brainstorm potential income streams, okay, based on your skills and then the opportunities around you, all right? Okay, so it could be that the additional income stream might be some side hustle you will start. It might be trading online. It might be food commodity. It might be selling products, online. Whatever it is, you've got to identify what am I going to do to bring in this deficit. Okay, so step 3, you gather your tools for success. Step 3. So now you know, number 1, you've identified what enough means. Number 2, you've identified the deficit to that enough, and then also identified potential income streams to close the deficit. Now, this step is now saying, what are the things I'm going to need to put in place? The systems, the infrastructure, the tools, the people, the team, in order to be able to make that. All right. So what do you need to succeed in generating your ideal lifestyle income? So what I want you to do is list all the resources you are going to need. It might be some training. It might be that it's a particular skill, say digital skill, that you need in order to bridge that income gap. It might be that you need some kind of certification. It might be that you actually want to train as a nurse, because nurses in Europe, nurses in America, they make a lot of money. So identify that kind of education, that kind of certification, or it might mean that you need to subscribe to a particular software system, okay, ClickFunnels or something, to be able to develop a sales process and a sales funnel that can allow you to sell your product. What is it? It might be that you need to participate in a particular course, okay? Or it might be that you need something as simple as a smartphone and then ring light if you're a content creator. Then who can help you? So identify the communities, online communities. It's important for you to always be in the space like this one. Your brain needs to constantly hear these things, okay? Get yourself off television, excessive television watching, excessive entertainment, and then start building your mind. Start connecting yourself to events like this. We do this every day, 8 p.m. Some days when there is a clash, we do it 1 hour later, like we're doing today. Connect with that community. Then connect with, I have a financial fitness support community. Incredible people, who are, they are focused on how do I generate that opportunity, that income opportunity that will take care of me and my family for the rest of my life. And then you see, iron sharpens iron in that group. Last step in the agenda, now you have a plan. So commit to it. Mind your own business. This world, present world that we're living in right now, is extremely distracting. There's so many distractions. As they are talking about Russia and Ukraine, it's happening in Congo. They have not finished Congo. It is happening in France, and then drag queen show in France. The world is fighting that one. They are talking about Biden and Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. There's always something going on. As that is happening, war is breaking out in one. They are talking about Israel and Lebanon and Iran. This distraction is incredible, and then they keep you watching one thing after the other. As they are finishing Olympics, they are starting European League. As they are finishing European League, they are starting another one. So many distractions. And then while all that is going on, the gossip is just like every nanosecond. There's a new gossip, about some celebrity or another one. As they are finishing that. So if you're not wise and if you're not intentional, you just find yourself, wasting your time, wasting your data, wasting your resources on other people's drama and never coming to mind your own business. That's one lesson that my mother taught us when we were growing up, with slippers and with slaps. If you come to my mother in those days, she's gone to heaven. But if you came to her in those days when we were small, oh, mama, somebody said, this person said, before the thing comes out of your mouth, she's landed you a very big slap. So we grew up in my family minding our own business. Okay. So, and then many people are poor because they do not mind their own business. So define your financial goals, based on that ideal lifestyle, because now you've created that ideal lifestyle vision. All right. It's not going to make itself happen. So you've got to generate a plan. How am I going to go from here to that, to bridge that $8,000 gap? All right. And so set a very smart goal. And you can say, for instance, you want to monetize, because right now, the opportunities to be wealthy, to become rich internationally, you see, the things going on in the political situation in your country is not even an excuse. It's not stopping you, because the opportunities even to make money online are incredible. Recently, the Facebook monetized Nigeria and Ghana and a couple of other places. And then by just sharing your knowledge with the world, you can do a lot on YouTube. You can do a lot and all that. So set a goal and say, look, for the next 180 days, this is the goal you're giving yourself. All right. Now, and finally, take action. Take action. Start taking action toward those goals. Okay. Break down those goals into smaller steps. Let's say you want to do nursing. All right. In order to earn a lot more abroad, because I hear that nurses earn incredible amounts of money. So if your ideal lifestyle is $120,000, $10,000 or something, or $60,000 a year, nursing profession can easily get you that. So you now plan, all right, how do I get into nursing school if that is what you want? Or there are other certifications, and then coding certifications and things like that. You learn to code, and then you can land remote jobs. There are remote jobs paying $60,000, $80,000, $100,000. So you decide, okay, that my plan is to land a remote job. Then you reverse engineer and say, all right, what is the step one? What do I do first? Who do I talk to? Where do I apply? How do I find a remote job that can pay me $60,000 in the year? You've got to take action. You've got to take action. All right. And then I usually prefer to use 90-day challenge goals to challenge me to take action. So I can say something like what I'm doing now for 1,000 days. I say, okay, in the next 1,000 days, I'm going to teach the world for 1 hour every evening for the 1,000 days. This is day 14 that we have just rounded off. And then you can see how that drives me by setting challenges. So challenge yourself that in the next 30 days, in the next 90 days, this is what you want to accomplish. This is how you want to improve your finances. And then daily improvement in your finances. And after a while, you'll be amazed, what you have done for yourself. And then one of the actions you can take is to join the next Financial Fitness Coaching Challenge. So you can imagine if this has, been valuable for you. You can imagine what it means to spend 5 days like this, teaching you to take control of your financial life. So if you want to find more information and to enroll in the Financial Fitness Challenge that is coming, the very next cohort, please say so in the comment section, and then my team will reach out to you. And then this is where we are going to end it today. So if you have questions, go ahead and type it in the comment section, and then I will see you at exactly this same time tomorrow, actually 8 p.m. Lagos time tomorrow. I will see you. And then, but don't forget to put in the comment section your aha moments. And also do not forget to share this information with your family members. It's actually much better when you are watching it together and taking action together. So until 8 p.m. tomorrow, this is Ogbo, Awoke Ogbo signing off. I love you. Whatever happens, keep showing up, because you have no idea what's coming your way next. And I'll see you tomorrow.